What is going on, everybody? We're back once again with another edition of Wrestling Republic's Off the Air immediately following NXT. It's Tuesday, January 30th. It's almost February 2024, believe it or not. We're on our way to our first NXT PLE this Sunday. I've been messing it up all week and saying it's Saturday, which it's totally not. It's been Sunday the whole time, and I will get it right from here on out. But that's not the point. It's Tuesday night, and I've got the coolest crew in the business riding with me as usual here on Off the Air. First, I'm going to toss it out to the DMV. It's the Tuesday Night Delight himself. Can't have a Tuesday without him. Shad, what's going on, dude?
Throw them twos up. What's good, gentlemen? It's your boy Shad. Shad Talks Grabs. Follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to get my, algorithm of followers up. But I'm good, man. I'm excited for this pay-per-view on Sunday. I'm excited to break the pay-per-view down with y'all. Be real with you. This has been a very weak episode tonight, but we're going to talk about it.
I hear you there 100%. Good to have you as always. We've got Coach 23 over in the comments saying, "What's up, gents?" He also added Shoddy. What's up, Shoddy?
What's good, my guy?
We got Greg Felty with hi. Thank you, Greg, for tuning in, and Cool Gamer with hello, everybody. Good to have y'all once again, but also after the briefest of hiatuses, back where we needed him all along from Louisville, Kentucky. I'm going to toss it to Dryzzy.
Number two's up. Good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in.
Woo!
It is your boy Drizzy, and I am back from the deep depths of off the grid. They took my internet, but they couldn't keep it. We back, and it is a sad day for me. I wish I would have came back last week, and this would have happened this week because my eyes are burning because I've been crying for the last 2 hours because tonight was the last night that we had Electra Lopez on our NXT televisions. I'm distraught. I am so upset, and the only thing that could probably comfort me is Lash Legend. But since I don't have that, I'm here.
I thought we get to see forever, but forever's gone away.
It's
So
so hard
to
to say
say
goodbye
goodbye
to
to yesterday.
yesterday.
Electra Lopez, they grow up so quickly, man.
Tough loss for NXT. There's almost no question about it. Tough graduation, I would say.
Man,
Basically, it's like
tough.
to see him move on. Yeah, no, I'm moved. I'm moved. If you're not moved, I don't know who is. Not. I don't know how you couldn't be moved by what we just had, and not only that, Electra Lopez's last appearance on NXT.
This is the only Wrestling Republic show you'll get to see three people sing in unison like that.
Almost no chance you get that on the daily.
Not at all.
I would say definitely,
Zero.
probably not on the daily.
I swear we give them a song at least once a week. I know once a week we had Keith Sweat Twisted. This week your boys the men. Come on,
Yeah.
y'all. We're here for y'all. Y'all asked for this. Y'all asked for this.
Oh, someone said whose house?
Swerve's house. It's true.
This ain't a swerve. This is not a swerve show.
It
This
isn't,
not
but he said it. And I had the sweater on, like ironically.
He's wearing
a trick.
He's wearing the hoodie. Coach 23 was singing with. Sometimes you gotta go, boys to men. There's time and place, and this is one of them times and places. There's no question about that. Okay, let's get into our first segment though of the evening. As far as tonight's episode of NXT, we had Trick and Mello. Whoop that Trick. In my eyes, the hottest current superstar in all of NXT. Straight to the moon, on his way to Dragunov, who he encounters in a promo scene after all of this, leading to the Dusty semifinals and everything. The Dusty finals and whatnot. The final segment of the evening. I apologize. I just misread the side over there. Not the point. Let's talk about Trick and Mello, though. A little funky there at the end, Shad. Little funky with the look. What's Trick's main motivation? What's Mello's? Dusty Cup, the world title. Your thoughts on the last segment of the evening?
Yeah, I mean, tag match. Let me say this: it was a very good tag match. I've been impressed with the quality of tag matches that have been pipelined throughout the Dusty Cup. I know that we were very, you know, kind of, a little apprehensive with all the teams, a lot of them being mismatched teams. But I feel like we found some diamonds in the rough, especially with Braun and Baron last week. Great match tonight. Great match. LWO solid tag team. So during the Dusty Classic, we could have kind of saw that, streamline, kind of predictable, but it's all good. That's not a bad thing. The final segment, Dragunov and Trick Williams. I thought it was very solid. It shows the mind of where Trick Williams is. I feel like Trick Williams has multiple emotions going on, and it's difficult. You're in two marquee matches on one pay-per-view. That isn't easy alone on a stamina standpoint. And you also added on the top that he's got two tough competitors going in on each match. Dragunov is really playing Jedi mind tricks with him, really getting in his head. And I felt like Trick was standing tall for most point, but you saw a little bit of like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, what am I getting myself into? Right. We got to the end of it, and we have the tag team guys come in, their opponents with Braun and Baron attacking them, and we got Mello coming into the save, and then we get to that final segment of these two facing off, and you see Carmelo Hayes' eyes looking at it. This is going to be the telling story on Sunday night, and we're gonna do our predictions later on, so I won't get to what I think is going to happen there, but I think that's the story within the story, that it's that friendship between both of them. It's the alternative motives of what Carmelo Hayes is, and it's also his will of not really trusting Trick Williams at the moment. Of, does he think that he's going to be a viable tag team partner for him? Is he going to be a reason they lose to Braun and Baron, or is he jealous of Trick getting the opportunity versus Dragunov? There's a lot of different scenarios you can play apart it. And it's going to be interesting. It makes it interesting going into Sunday, and I'm excited for it all, to be honest with you.
I am too, man. Like, this is, to me, Trick Williams is the centerpiece to all of the storylines here, right? When it comes to A, the Dusty Cup, and then B, and how do you put it in the B position? The world title over on NXT.
Exactly.
It's Dragunov with the world title, right? Like, how is that the B spot? But it kind of weirdly feels like it is at times. I don't know. We've got a couple other comments over here on Instagram really quickly. We've got Tink 40 or 54. I apologize. With why do I think Mello is going to cost Trick the title on Saturday or Sunday? Whoops, see, I did it again. Oops, I did it again. I went full Britney Spears right there. And then Tink 54 once again with he's picking Braun and Corbin to win the Dusty Cup. We will get into our picks later. He also cracked up at Jedi Mind Tricks. Shout out you. And then we have another comment also though from D.O3.M, which is serious question. Who's hotter right now, Trick or Swerve? Sorry to go off topic. That we could spend the rest of the show on. Man,
yeah, that's.
I'm gonna go with Swerve.
I would say Swerve by a nose.
I'm gonna go with Swerve.
I'll only say Swerve with the caveat it's only because he's on major television more frequently than Trick is.
I agree. That's my reason too. But I also think Swerve is the most talented person on AEW.
I would be inclined to agree with that too, Shad, and I would almost call it a wash. It's very close. Like, we're splitting hairs on that question, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a borderline.
This can be Trick. I think this is a telling year for Trick, especially if he gets to the main roster. Because I said it last week. I think he's got like that same potential to be as over and as a star as LA Knight is on the main roster. Like I mean, we saw it on SmackDown. That
No
that
doubt.
gave us all goosebumps to see how that crowd was reacting. So
It,
yeah.
it was wild. So now, Drizzy, though, I do also have to ask you about that final segment that we saw on NXT tonight between both Trick and Dragunov, as well as Mello joining the fray. We see Breaker, we see Corbin run in, all of that. Your thoughts on how we ended the show?
For months, I was on board with Mello's the one who attacked Trick. That this entire situation is all funded by Mello's jealousy. Tonight was the first time that I've ever wavered on it. I wavered on it. I I look at it back as like maybe I was wrong. Maybe Mello didn't attack him, but who did? I r- I'm starting to believe that this entire thing has been manufactured by Dragunov to get in Mello, to get in Trick's head. It's the ultimate mind game right now. And it's coming from a guy that you don't expect mind game from. Before the show was going on, we were talking about how we feel about Dragunov's run right now, and it has felt, I don't know. We were looking at it as it's not good as a baby face, but the more as the weeks go, you see more of a sinister, evil kind of James Bond villain look to him. It's starting to fit. It's starting to look like it. And when he sat there and shook Trick's hand and then pulled him in for the hug, he whispered something in his ear. And I swear to you, I promise you, he said, "It was me. It was me all along." And then Braun and Corbin come in, stumbling in, and they attack Trick. Never once did they lay a hand on Dragunov after that initial pushdown.
Mhm.
It's really looking like this is all just some type of thing to try and just take his focus. This is going to be a very, very, very good pay per view just because of the factors of you have Mello, who I'm not sure where his motivation is now. I think now it's more I need you to focus on this thing with me in opposed to focusing on just him because I don't have the title. Now, eventually, eventually, we're gonna get the turn. I don't doubt the turn's gonna happen. We're gonna get the turn. Melo's gonna finally succumb to his jealousy. But right now, I think it's all innocent. I think it is truly all innocent. Your friend is trying to go
Ah,
after his thing, and we're trying to do something together, and you can't focus on both. So, what's going to be more important to you? The thing we're trying to do together, or your world title? Because it doesn't help me. That's where
yeah.
I think we're at right now.
This is one that's so fascinating. It's funny. We've got awesome comments over on Instagram, along with which it starts with Do 3M with that would be crazy, and then Coach 23 with Ilya looks like a heel in presentation and looks he added. Dang, so Mello is really innocent. Triple question marks from Do 3M.
I
Team
like that
54 with
swerve, to be honest
Dragunov
with you.
is the puppet master. I dig it too. And I don't think it's just inspired by Colombiana post show there. But Dragunov can totally be a gangster.
Silly.
He can be the one pulling the strings here.
It would be beneficial to your point though, because I feel like he as a character is not clicking as much as it was a few months ago. So it would give a nice wrinkle to him and kind of be a little bit different in the aspect. Because I feel like he could be a great heel to that point. Like I think Coach 23 was saying that like his presentation is very heelish. He's got the renowned suits. You know, he just comes off like an evil villain at the end of the day. And
He wears a tie clip
yeah, he
shirt.
wears a tie clip, man.
All suits are evil unless you're Cody Rhodes.
Or
All
Barney
suits are evil.
Stinson. Shout out How I Met Your Mother. I like that show. He's great in that show.
He kind of look like him too.
Suit up.
Yeah.
Hey guys, suit up. And no tie clip, if you notice, from Barney Stinson, by the
Oh
way.
man, he's
Legend, wait for it, Dairy.
Dragonoff do look like Neil Patrick.
He does look like NPH.
That's
That's,
crazy.
that's
He's
my
like,
bad. I did not mean to. I didn't mean to open that exact can of worms.
I mean, but he looks like he just sits in a chair like all this, holding a cat and just stroking his beard.
Yes, he does. Russian gangster, a little bit Taken esque, maybe. Shout out Liam Neeson.
Coach 23 said all he needs is a bodyguard. They got like a billion of them, like 6'11" football players in the
They're building them.
performance center.
They're building the.
Obafemi,
They build these giant men right
not as a
next to they
bodyguard.
build to the women. Like Shawn Michaels is getting them all from the same place wholesale.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, plenty of athletes. Plenty of athletes. Let's move on to our next segment so we can get to our predictions, though. Let's talk
Yeah.
about Joe Gacy, who I think he's found his honey spot. This is what I wanted from Joe Gacy all along with Dijak. This was weirdly like movie television esque. The segment, I thought it was hysterical. Shad, you and I watched it together. Like in the it's too funny. It reminds me of too many different things. The references, but Gacy stands out as the star of it. I like the excess brawling. I'm excited for them to have a match. Your thoughts on the segment?
Yeah, I think this was the best thing that has occurred in the entire episode. It's something that's streamlined from the initial segment of them, kind of like in that dark room with the interaction between them and Gacy playing the tape recorder with him being there before and them going into the brawl. And it ended with them fighting on top at the PC and him throwing them in off the roof into a trash dumpster and them, setting up a match. I think this is a good character direction for Joe Gacy. I think he was definitely lost for, unfortunate circumstances with everyone in his entire faction going elsewhere. GYV going to the Indies and Impact, and Ava Rain snapping out of her golf phase and becoming a general manager. So it's something that he needs to kind of find a footing, and I think he has found a footing. I think this deranged, crazy, lunatic type of character is really good for him. I think it adds a different pizzazz to him. It's not too different from what he was doing prior to it, but it's not as, more of the cult leader aspect to it. And adding that to an element with a Dijak, I think it makes a good story because Dijak is a super serious, tough guy type of character. And it does come off movie-esque. I feel like both characters are two people that you would find in a film. So that's why I enjoy it a lot. I love vignettes like that. I feel like cinematic vignettes are a good thing, and I would love to see it happen on Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, Collision. Like I feel like it adds a nice element to keep a story progressing and whatnot. So that was something I did enjoy, and I'm excited for the match, man. I love crazy off the wall stuff. It's entertaining and it's good television.
I couldn't agree more. I was with you. I love this segment. Drizzy, are you on the same page with us on this one? Like I feel like this is as good as Joe Gacy has looked on this roster, and it fits his personality more. And some of like, I don't want to say corniness, but there's something about that cult leader aspect that Shad mentioned that has been removed, where we're really seeing like Joe Gacy do character work that I think he's really capable of. Would you agree with that?
I absolutely agree. Joe Gacy is cut from that. I don't want to call it the ECW cloth, but the remnants, the
Yeah.
the ground aspect of what ECW was built on, and it makes sense after so long of ECW being gone. He is a CZW guy. Those guys do this. Character work is what they do. They take every aspect of wrestling and the things that aren't good, they strip it down and put it on its bare essence and they amplify it. Joe Gacy is right now doing what I truly believe what Dean Ambrose was supposed to be on the main roster. He is I wouldn't want to say a lunatic. It's almost like a thin line between intelligence and insanity. And when you add that he's brawling all over, he's had 1 week feuds for about 2 months now. He's had with Joe Coffey. I think he did something with Noam Dar. He's just all over the place. He's been a bright spot on the show for so long, and giving him the work of fighting with Dijak, somebody who needs somebody who can he can fight off of that he can just go head to head with all the time. I think Dijak is used best in those feuds where he's going head to head with somebody and it's just pure destruction. It's almost like mini Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman was most effective when he was destroying stuff. And I think this is the best way of using Dijak right now. If we could just get rid of the Sin City aspect of it, we're good. But I'm excited for this. I like these matches. The Joe Gacy, I'm crazy, no disqualification match. Let's do it because Dijak is gonna have to do something drastic in order to put Gacy down.
And if anyone can hang with Gacy on doing something drastic, it's Dijak. So to your point, I'm all for it. I'm totally with it. Let's get into though our last segment before we get into predictions, because I'm excited for predictions. Predictions is going to be fun. Let's
Yeah.
talk about the Heritage Cup finals. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Noam Dar and Von Wagner. Is it just me, but Von Wagner, maybe an unprepared corner? Maybe unprepared for the rule set? I don't know, man. Drizzy, talk to me about this one. It was Heritage Cup rules.
Dijak lost this match the moment he asked for it because I don't think Dijak knew what a
Von
Heritage Cup.
Wagner.
Oh, my bad, not my bad, Donovan.
You were talking Dijak. It's all good.
Von Wagner had no idea what this match was. I promise you, he had no idea what this match was. He came into it. He did fine the first round. But the moment the round stopped and he didn't understand, okay, you have to stop, it was completely over. Because at that point, this is where metaphor they shine. They take advantage of things fast. Obi Mensa's in the ring. He's not paying attention. The round starts. That gives Noam Dar time to sneak up and knock you out for a quick win. Died, and at that point, it was pretty much he was in his head. The match was pretty much over. You gotta love the logic in it. This is not big man gonna muscle his way to 2 straight wins. This was okay. How can exploit this man and his anger and everything? If there's nobody better at doing that than Noam Dar, and that has been the common thread in all these Heritage Cup matches. He is able to take advantage of a moment at the snap of a dime, at the drop of a dime. He figures it out that quick. Brilliant thinking from a champion. I can't wait until he goes for another title because he's never gonna let it go. If you're thinking like that, you're an escape artist at this point because that means you can be put in any situation and you're fine. You adapt. Noam Dar, greatest Heritage Cup champion of all time. Von Wagner, he gets the moral victory again. But I do ask that NXT, please. Von Wagner had such a good year last year. Can we please give him something more than a moral victory? I feel like he has earned it. He has the crowd on his side. He has momentum. This is the time to really put him in something meaningful with somebody where you're not just giving him, okay, well, I'm gonna table him in front of these kids that I gave cosmic brandings with no rappers to. Just give him something more than a moral victory. He's earned it. I truly believe that. I know we spent majority of last year talking bad about him. He's earned it this year.
I totally agree. And Vaughn is an amazing athlete. You'd think we'd find a spot for him to be utilized in a way where we're all always excited about it.
Mhm.
And that just hasn't been the case thus far. Shad, I gotta ask you about it's Heritage Cup match. Noam Dar is our guy. What do you think, man?
All right. So I like the psychology of the match. I like that Noam Dar looked strong in the match. This is his playing field. It's only right that he uses and takes everything to advantage. I like the idea of Vaughn not being aware of what type of match this is and kind of just trying to go straight for the kill more so, and it, not cooler heads not prevailing and it kind of being detriment to what it is and allowing Noam Dar to get uh, the victory overall clean too. It wasn't even really close, to be honest with you. My issue is I don't see any sense of direction for the character of Von Wagner. Um, I don't know what we're doing with him, to be honest with you. Like Drizzy said to his point, it's the same storyline every single feud with him. He's having a triumphant story building to it with Robert Stone. He gets to the opponent that is more, ready or more outclasses him, Braun Breaker, Noam Dar in this situation, and he loses. And instead of him winning a match, he gets these moral victory where he rages out and he throws an opponent through a table. This isn't any character development. This isn't anything intriguing. This can only give excitement in that arena because these people see it all the time, and it's cool to see a big guy power bomb somebody through a table. I feel like we need to repackage him, or this is just gonna be a lost cause with him. So I think we need to repackage him. I think the goofiness is not fitting for him. He's funny, but he's funny in a bad way, right? It's funny that we're laughing at you. We're not laughing with you more. So he needs to kind of maybe get some sort of maybe be a heavy or whatever it may be, some sort of seriousness to him because I like him as an in-ring worker. To your point, I think he's a good, agile, big man. He's got a good look to him. It's just there hasn't really been anything that has helped him progress. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hear where you're coming from too. It's like the laughing with and not at thing is tough. I mean, that's a tough one to overcome.
Yeah.
But he's such an athlete. Coach 23 over in the comments added Tony Khan. Almost, yeah, I'm sure he meant Khan. I'm sorry, Robert Stone should have prepared him well.
Coach funny, bro.
That's funny. That's funny. That's funny, and we know funny. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, I don't know. For me, Vaughn has been neither here nor there at times, but then all of a sudden he does stuff where I'm like, what have I been missing? We need something more, like, right? Like, athletically speaking, look, there's just something missing.
It's wins.
And it's kind of been all along. Wins, Drizzy.
It's wins.
Yeah, that's one of them at
You
least.
can't you have all this momentum. They did such a good year building sympathy for this man. They gave him a story. They gave him more than he's had. They gave him last year more than he's had in the past 3 years that he's been in NXT 2.0.
So
And
true.
he's got it all right now in the palm of his hand. All they have to do is give him some wins. I know we Lions say that the wins don't matter. They do in this case.
No, they do.
How many times can you get the moral victory of powerbombing a man through a table after you've been speared, after you've eaten the end of days in a blood feud? You've gone through walls with the man and everything, but you can't get an actual win?
Think about Omos for a second. Like, he's imposing because he dominates and beats people constantly, whether you are a fan of him as a wrestler or not. But the character of person of his stature is he's a beast that wins and he gets through his opponents. I think Vaughn in ring is better than Omos. I think he's got talent to be a very dominant, imposing big man. They don't win, and he's goofy. They're making him a come on, man. He brought cosmic brownies to a grown man house.
With no
rappers on. Like, bro, come on, man. I can't take it serious, dog. I'm sorry. I love NXT for the funny, like, nuance to it and the different crazy characters. He's just not that though. It's more funny. Like we're cracking on how bad it is. We're not talking about how witty and funny it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
It shouldn't be that way, especially because we do appreciate so much of the product week in and week out. It's one of those, like, how can you miss this? You know, situations like we're not trying to crack on the product at all, like you just said. Like I'm in total agreement. And with that, speaking of, if you don't have plans Sunday, you do now, because immediately following the PLE on Sunday, you might as well be listening to us. But the best part about it is we got 15 minutes left to give all of you predictions from us three for this Sunday's card.
And y'all can, when we get to them, y'all comment who you think is gonna win too.
I'm delighted. Throw it in the comments.
Y'all moment too.
Shit, this is where you do.
That's where y'all shine, man.
Tell us what you think.
Let's start with our first match prediction. Wes, we got OTM. OTM.
Good.
We saw a big segment tonight, and the family. Good old Tony D and the fam versus OTM. Tag titles on the line on Sunday at Vengeance Day. Is that what we're calling it? Vengeance Day, or is it just Vengeance?
The Day of Vengeance.
Do we have add
Vengeance Day?
When I was a kid, it was just Vengeance, man. Oh,
it was in your house Vengeance.
It was in your house Vengeance. Well,
in your performance center now.
Now it's in your performance center Vengeance, and I can't wait for that either way. Shad, I got to ask you. First prediction of the entire evening. OTM, the fam. What do you have? What's the finish? Who do you have going over?
Oh, man. So let me start with this. I'll give a very brief breakdown of how I view it. I think it should be beneficial for OTM, being that they are a relatively new team. They've added a new member to their team, and they got the big imposing threats on their squad. It'd be a very solid win for them. It would solidify them. But I don't think the family is going to lose. This is a 6-person match. We have 2 new women participating in this match. Well, we've seen Jada Parker wrestle before. I don't remember
the title's not on the line. Am I wrong on that?
No, it's a
title. It's a title match.
It's a title match.
Isn't it a 6-person match?
No, it's a title match.
No, just tag title match.
It's tag titles.
For real?
Yeah,
For
that's
real?
what that. That's what.
I wasn't trying to cut you off there, but I was like, whoa.
That's what that Andre.
I already
Chase
messed
match
up an intro
for.
earlier, but I didn't mess this one up. I think.
Nah, man, this is a 6-person match.
But I thought it was for the tag titles. Still, maybe.
It's not for the tag titles.
They're just
Jada Parker. Hold up. It's a 6-person. It's Tony D'Angelo, Shannon Stacks, and Adriana Rezzo are set to clash with Bronco Nima, Lucy and Price, and Jada Parker.
Look, even Tink 54 is over in the comments saying that Tony D and the family retain. They got to be on the line.
It's a 6-person match. I'm looking at the line right now.
On the line
let me
Shad,
look.
I'm not even. It's not that I don't believe.
Well, regardless, I got the family winning. I got the family winning.
Not the family going over.
If it's
No,
the tag
Shad,
team,
I want you to know.
match.
It's not even that I don't believe you.
Okay, all right.
You know what? I'm gonna change my idea. Hold on, go ahead. Say what you got.
I have the word. Hold on, pause. I have the word. It is a non-title match. It's just a 6-person tag match.
Oh,
I got OTM winning. I got Jada Parker getting the pin on Mrs. Rizzo because I think that's gonna set to OTM versus the family in a tag team title match.
Well,
I know where the confusion came in at, because that Chase U match, if they won, then they were supposed to get a tag title match, and it hasn't happened yet. That's where the confusion comes in at.
So now
I think originally this was supposed to be, but once Jada Parker and Adriana got added in, they just made it a 6-man tag.
Now that it's a 6-person tag match, and Shad was right. See, you get your credit there, Shad. Shad, you were absolutely correct.
I got OTM winning. Since it's a 6-person match, and I got Jada Parker getting the victory over Mrs. Rizzo. I think Jada Parker is someone that could benefit from this win, and I think OTM can benefit from the win as well. And I think it's going to eventually set up to the tag team title match with those guys. So got out the mud getting the W.
I like that. Drizzy, your pick.
I am going with the family winning just because I believe so strongly in this is gonna. I know I said it the last year. This is gonna be the last time. This right here will be the last time that I call them Tights and Tims. OTM is gonna win the tag titles whenever that shot happens. I do believe that they have built up a strong enough resume. The X factor of Scripps and Jada Parker, in opposed to just Adriana, who can only do so much by herself. OTM is hungry, they're young, and most of all, they're huge. Pause. They're
Hey yo.
they are ready to take the titles from the family.
I'm with you. I mean, I was gonna pick the family when it was for the titles. Now that it's not, I'm also gonna pick OTM. I hate to make not to not to not to damper the picks on this one, but that does now seem obvious. I will, however, I'm gonna go way super ahead of myself here, and I'm gonna pick the family to retain in the eventual title match that comes of this 6-person tag match that we see at Vengeance Day. Uh, I'm sorry for laughing so hard. Drizzy got me on that one. Pretty good. Uh, but we're gonna move on to the next match in our predictions, and this one for me, I'm excited about the match. Very much so. It's Obafemi versus Dragon Lee. This has got to be a walkthrough. Obafemi has proven to me that he is the intimidator in this bunch on NXT right now. He's the most physically imposing guy on the WWE roster, maybe all three. And I truly believe there's when you have Dragon Lee on the opposite side, Dragon Lee can sell in a way where we can show just how great Obafemi is in this match. And that's how I want this match to look. I've got Oba going over dominantly. Absolutely dominantly in this one. Drizzy, I got to ask you, who do you have? Obafemi, Dragon Lee, North American title on the line, correct?
Yes,
Did I get it right this time?
this is correct. But 2 weeks ago, I said that we have not seen anybody this dominant since Brock Lesnar, and I'm standing by that. He is going to absolutely smack the living hell out of that Dragon Lee. He has already smacked the LWO so hard that they are on the first thing smoking back to SmackDown with their tail between their legs. Dragon Lee is going next, so he can go be with his Carhartt in Los Ingonables WWE that they get ready to create. I don't know if that's gonna happen or not, but Dragon Lee is going to be sent flying out of NXT by Oba Finn, backed by Destiny. Does not mean he's losing 2 weeks after winning the belt.
I totally agree. Um, yeah, it's got to be Obafemi. In my eyes, Shad, are you with us on this one? It's got to be Oba.
Yeah, I mean, I got Obafemi winning, but I don't think it's gonna be as much of a wash as you think it's gonna be. This is a rightful rematch because he cashed in on him with his breakout tournament folder. It's a lot more important than a briefcase. Damian Priest, you might want to reconsider what matches you're winning, but the success rate is better for that. But I think it's gonna be a good match. I like the styles of it. I think it's gonna be an opportunity to let Dragon Lee, play that David versus Goliath role, fight from, underneath, get an opportunity, working his speed on it. But ultimately, I think Obafemi will come out strong. I think it'll be a great match for him. Dragon Lee's gonna sell for him amazing. And we're gonna get the first step of what should be the future of WWE because I think, to Drizzy's point, I think this is the guy who is going to play, that role of dominance that Brock Lesnar is, but it's gonna be better because he's younger, faster, just better right now.
I agree. Okay, let's run through because we're running out of time here. Two matches really quickly, and then we'll get to two that are linked together. I'm going to flip the order here a little bit. Let's talk about the Dijak and Gacy no DQ match really quickly. And who's your pick in that one? And let's go rapid fire. I'm taking Joe Gacy. Shot, who do you got?
Man.
Top of your head.
I'm gonna go with Dijak.
He's taking Dijak. Okay, I got Gacy. He's got Dijak. Who do you have, Drizzy?
I'm taking Gacy.
Okay.
I'll be different.
I like it. Now let's talk Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez. Women's World Title match. This is a big one. I'm personally going to go with Lyra Valkyria retains the title. Drizzy, your pick first, then you shot. Sorry. Flipping the order.
I don't think it's time for Lyra to go ahead and call it quits yet. We're definitely gonna stick with Lyra as champion. We still got a story to tell with Pat Tatum.
Boom. Shot.
I got Lyra winning. I think Roxanne is gonna be on the main roster soon. So yeah.
Was that the first 3 for 3?
Yeah.
Yep.
Talk to me. How about it? Okay. Now we have the two matches very much tied together here, especially based on what we saw tonight. We have Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin in the finals of the Dusty Cup. Talk about finishing stories. Can't wait to see this one finished. My friends, I'm going with Trick and Mello, personally. Shad, your thoughts?
I got Trick and Mello winning the Dusty Cup finals. Because I think something is gonna transcend and leak towards the main event. But I'm gonna go with Trick and Mello winning the Dusty Classic.
I like it. How about you, Drizzy?
I am going with Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker.
Nice.
And the end of this is going to cause the end of the next match that we talk about.
Okay, so while we're on it, let's get to the next match that we're going to talk about right this second. Trick Williams versus Ilya Dragunov. NXT World Championship on the line. What does this mean for that match, Drizzy?
I am going with Ilya.
To retain.
Ilya retaining because of Hayes. I feel like Trick is going to be splitting his time too much, that he's not going to be completely focused on the Dusty Classic. They'll lose that. And in response to it, Melo's going to react by causing him the world title. Albeit maybe inadvertent, maybe on purpose, but somehow, some way, Melo is going to cost Trick the title.
100%. I respect it. I think it's a really good pick. It's a good idea. Shad, same page, different thoughts.
I got the same result, but I got it being different motives. I think Carmelo Hayes is going to be the reason that Trick Williams does lose to Ilya Dragunov in the main event, but I think it's going to be due to jealousy, and I think it's going to be due to what is pipeline from the initial story of Carmelo being the one that attacked him. So I'm going to go with Dragunov with the heel turn, or not heel turn, the turn on Trick.
I respect both opinions so much, and I will say I've had the hiccups the whole show. I finally ditched them. Shout out Chronic Tacos and Mission Viejo. Way too spicy of salsa. That one's on me, but I'm ready to make this pick, and I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I think Trick Williams is our next NXT World Champion. And you know what I think happens post-match? Just a beatdown from Melo. An absolute mollywhopping on Trick Williams. You don't get to celebrate. It shouldn't be about you. This was my moment. You don't deserve this. And it might have been Dragunov the whole time. I'm not sure. We'll find out who it was that attacked Trick Williams on Sunday. But we'll find out Melo's intention post-match after Trick Williams holds up that world title. That's just my opinion. It could be anything, but that does bring us to the end of the show. Sincerely, though, thank you everybody for tuning in. As always, if you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do. Also, if you don't have Sunday afternoon plans, there's no more football. There's nothing to do. I'm just going to watch the NXT PLE. I'm going to watch Vengeance Day, and you don't know what to do after? Tune in, pour up a drink, check out me, Shad, Dryzzy, over here on Off the Air. It's going to be delightful immediately following the end of the show. It's going to be fun as could be. Please tune in once again, as always. Thank you so much. And with that, that brings us to the final end of the show. Everybody have a great Tuesday night. Thank you so much for tuning in. Talk to everybody Sunday night, and then we'll also see you guys next Tuesday.